Right, next witness.
Commonwealth calls Amy Django.
Solemnly swear or affirm testimony to you in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. I do.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Would you please tell the jury your name?
Amy Django.
How are you employed, ma'am?
I'm employed as a forensic scientist through the Department of Forensic Science.
Have you ever been qualified as an expert to testify in the courts of the Commonwealth of Virginia?
I have
And in what fields?
toxicology.
Okay. And in your experience as a toxicologist at the Department of Forensic Science, what types of duties do you perform?
Judge, without interrupting her, we have no objection to her qualifications and expertise.
Judge, I'd offer her as an expert in toxicology in that case.
Unknown to proceed.
Ma'am, did you have occasion to receive back in April of 2015, related to William Chapman, 2 vials of internal iliac blood and 1 vial of vitreous humor?
It was received into our laboratory.
And did you perform analysis on those items?
I did.
As a result of your analysis, did you produce a certificate of analysis documenting those results?
Yes.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
You may. And ma'am, for the jury, explain what victim humor is.
Vitreous humor is fluid from the eye.
And internal iliac blood, what is that?
It's blood drawn from the iliac region.
Okay, where is that?
I'm not qualified to testify to.
Yes, sir, I understand. I'm going to show you this document and ask you if you recognize it.
Okay.
If you just tell the jury what it is, please.
Yes, this is a certificate of analysis that I generated on May 28, 2015.
Judge, I would offer this as Commonwealth exhibit.
Counsel,
No objection, Your Honor.
so proceed.
May I approach?
You may.
And ma'am, now referring to Commonwealth Exhibit 53, your certificate of analysis. Do you have a copy of that in front of you?
I do.
And are you, okay. Did you have occasion to test the 2 vials of internal iliac blood submitted to you from William Chapman?
I tested 1 vial of blood.
Okay. And what type of test do you perform on that vial?
I performed an analysis to test for blood alcohol, and I also performed an analysis that looked for various other types of drugs.
First, talking about the blood alcohol, are you looking for ethanol in that case?
Yes,
And did you detect any ethanol in William Chapman's blood?
I did not.
You mentioned you test for other drugs. What other drugs do you test for?
Well, in this case, I tested for cocaine, opiates, methamphetamine, benzyclidine, which is known as PCP, fentanyl, and methadone.
What kinds of drugs are included in opiates? Can you specify?
Morphine, codeine, hydrocodone.
And did you detect the presence of cocaine, opiates, methamphetamine, PCP, benzyclidine, fentanyl, or methadone in William Chapman's blood?
I did not.
Did you also analyze the vitreous humor that was submitted to you from William Chapman?
I did.
And what were you testing for in that item?
Alcohol.
Did you find the presence of any alcohol in that item?
No.
Ma'am, were these conclusions all to a reasonable degree of scientific certainty?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. That's all the questions I have for you. May I approach Your Honor?
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
In addition to Mr. Chapman's blood, you also received a vial of his urine,
That's correct.
and you did not perform any tests on the urine.
Correct.
And in testing the blood, you do not test for every conceivable drug, correct?
Correct.
And in this particular case, you did not test William Chapman's blood nor his urine for marijuana, correct?
That's correct.
Thank you. I don't have any other questions.
Ma'am, were you asked to test William Chapman's urine?
No. That's not a typical urine. We wouldn't typically test the urine if we had the blood in the vitreous. If the vitreous wasn't submitted and we received urine instead, we would have tested the urine.
And the list of drugs you mentioned you test for, is that a pretty standard list in terms of, okay.
Yes.
Were you asked to test for marijuana?
No.
Thank you, ma'am.
No further questions, Your Honor.
That should be excused.
If you may, Your Honor, thank you.
That should be excused, counsel.
Yes, Your Honor.
You may be excused, sir.
Thank you.
All right, members of the jury, it's 10 after 5. You've had a long day. You've been very patient, very attentive, and very accommodating. So we will recess at this time. Report back tomorrow morning at 9:30. Report directly to this jury in behind, okay? Now, the instructions that I gave you yesterday, they still apply. Do all of you remember those instructions? Okay. Again, have a good evening. Don't call the tape. If for some reason you make a mistake and call the tape may indicate that you're not to report. So I'm telling you to report, okay? But don't call the tape. Follow all of my instructions from yesterday. Have a good evening. Thank you. Maybe see. Counsel, I want you to report at 9:15, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
And also, once we determine when we will have a view, the only people will be permitted to be at that view site will be the parties, which being the attorney for the Commonwealth, the attorney for the defendant, and the members of the sheriff's department. No one else will be permitted to accompany anybody and be present at that view. No one else. And I want everybody to understand. Okay, everybody understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, y'all have a good day. See you tomorrow, 9:15.
All right. Court is now adjourned.